Hey guys, I am Tamil Selvan Bharati. It is September 12th, the day when we had iPhone 15 event by Apple, and this video, is for those other fellow Apple fanboys like myself, and the intended audiences for maybe other fellow YouTubers. I call myself as a YouTuber because I started posting these videos on YouTube since May, and I post music, Indian film music review and stuff like that, and then other health related stuff and anything that I'm passionate about. And one of the things that I've been consistently passionate about is technology. Ever since Apple iPhone came, oh my God, I remember those days when I would be hooked onto the TV on the day of Apple announcement. And my favorite, Steve Jobs, he would just show up on the stage, he'll announce different stuff. So you just sit and watch Steve Jobs present his presentation style. Such a charming presentation, amazing guy. And then he would say, one more thing. Do you guys remember that? And then he'll just talk about some brand new product that he would announce. Or, it might be a product that other companies might have had it on the market for a few years, but when he announces the same stuff, then we would be so amused by it because of his presentation style. And then he was a perfectionist. Whether the Windows idea, whether it came from Xerox company or however it came to us, these guys, whether it was Bill Gates who stole from them or whatever, these guys, Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, and what they've done to technology world is just wondrous. And I am just deeply indebted to these guys because my life, it is just amazing after all these products came up. I just love these things. And then like iPhone, it really pretty much put a full-blown computer in my pocket. And prior to that, remember BlackBerry phones with all the alphabets on them? It would have n number of alphabets, like buttons with all the alphabets. It would have all of them on the phone. So if you want to type, at the time, that was a major advancement because, you could just keep typing, with all those buttons, and then you could input whatever you wanted to input. But then this guy, Steve Jobs, comes up with a phone with nothing in it. No, I guess Coke. By the way, that is Pepsi, guys, the dog that just jumped out, and then this is Coke. So I got 3 dogs, and they are my fellow YouTubers because in my YouTube videos you can see them also wandering around with me. But anyway, I don't know if they like technology or not, probably not. But I love technology, I love iPhones. So, from the day of iPhone 1, from iPod days, when he just made the iPod and the iPod with the 16 gigabyte storage and the first SSD, solid state, hard drive. I mean, prior to that, I remember even having those iPods, I think with the real, spinning hard drive. I think he had that. And then, it all became SSD at some point in time. And then, Steve Jobs came up with this iTunes where he would sell each song, a single would be 99 cents. And then he really looked at us from his stage. And then he would say, hey guys, buy these, tunes. Don't get a CD and then rip MP3 and then just distribute it between yourselves. Don't do that. And then he said, stealing was a bad karma. And then he said, just buy them, it's good karma. Remember? Adorable. The way he presented it, and then, people really started buying instead of just ripping him off of CDs. Anyway, amazing guy. And, the iPhone has had so many iterations, and finally we are at iPhone 15 Pro Max. So today, I couldn't watch, like what I said, I couldn't watch the original event. But, this evening, as soon as I came back from work, I just quickly glanced at all the changes. I'm really amazed that now, iPhone is going to have 5x optical zoom. See, the wonderful effect of DSLR camera, I have some Nikon, DSLR cameras, but, and then those cameras, of course, with those zoom lens and everything, the wonderful low light performances of those cameras, the appropriate lens, and the bokeh effect that you can get out of those cameras, they're amazing. But lately, in the past 3-4 years, all these cell phones, including Android, they are competing with the DSLR. Now you can really get fantastic bokeh effect just with smartphones. And iPhone just is advancing their camera with every iteration, and now it's got 5x optical zoom. So in 2023, see, think about it. From the first iPhone now, this iPhone 15, imagine all the things that have really happened and how it has just advanced to the fact that it can, like your Apple Watch can check your EKG, it can alert you that your heart rhythm is in atrial fibrillation, it can tell you to go to the emergency room. So it has advanced so much. So if this happens like this at this speed in the first, less than 15 years, then you can imagine the next 10 years from 2023 to 2033, you can imagine where they're going to be. I think by 2033, I wouldn't be surprised if these guys get rid of completely mirrorless cameras. All the companies that make mirrorless cameras, they need to pull their act together and then come up with something very innovative or compelling, or start making their mirrorless camera smaller and smaller and start presenting them very small, like a compact, cell phone. Otherwise, why would anybody go buy a mirrorless camera with all those interchangeable lens systems? Of course, it is fantastic, but if a smartphone can do all of it, then why would you really need a big, mirrorless camera with all the interchangeable lenses? Like my camera bag has got all these various lenses, and I used to carry them once upon a time, but now I don't do any of it. My iPhone just does it. And of course, the DJI's Pocket 2 camera, that's what I use for my dog walk videos. It's got the gimbal, and eventually I think iPhone might also start having gimbal technology built in. I wouldn't be surprised if they go that route. And then I also have GoPro Hero 11 camera, 11 mini, which can shoot 5K videos. Today, with Apple's 15 Pro Max, I was just so hoping that they would have advanced to the 5K video, but looks like it is still 4K. Maybe it will be 120 frames per second, but I'm still waiting for the full specs. But it is very impressive, guys. This telephoto, it can the still camera photo images are, I think, going to be 48 megapixel. So that's amazing. So once you really take a raw image of that kind of a pixel density, then you can just digitally zoom it and you can really do whatever you want to do with the picture. So that's amazing. And then also the fact that they've gone away from the lightning cable, and then now we have USB-C cable. So I'm really so thrilled about it. Of course, Apple should have done that long ago. USB-C clearly emerged as the de facto, standard. And now you can do power delivery, you can do so much wonders with just the tiny little cable. But finally, Apple had to be forced to do it. Come on, let's accept it. The European Union, I think, the European Commission or whatever that is, they really just said that Apple has to change it by next year or something. Otherwise, they're not going to allow the lightning connector. But one thing that I'm happy is at the fact that Apple, did not release separate versions, European version with the USB-C cable and then American version with the lightning cable. So they've really come up with just USB-C as their main cable. So I'm so happy. So this year I'm going to end up buying an iPhone 15 Pro Max, and then I'm also going to buy the GoPro Hero 12. I'm going to buy that for Christmas. I'm going to be my own Santa, and I'm going to gift myself with all these gifts because GoPro 12, that's got amazing resolution, and it's sensor size, the camera sensor is 1.3. Can you believe that? So the low light performance of all these cameras have been just remarkably improving. So I am thankful to the Lord that I live in an era when I'm able to watch all these changes happen. So great, guys. So I'll continue to be posting videos, various videos, and I'll start using this new technology, and you're going to watch all of them. I hope you got something out of this video, or you enjoyed watching this video. And as always, I like to motivate at the end of my video messages. The motivational message today is the fact that no matter how much the technology world improves, it is up what we have here, our mind. That is the greatest gift that God gave us, not the technology gift. So let's put our mind to use and let's keep on doing something useful. And then our eyes. One thing, guys, did you know this? Even right now, there's no camera that can match our eyes. Because our eyes, we got, the rods and the cones and all that, and, the cones for color vision, and then the rods performance in low light. You know, like when you go to sleep and then when you wake up in the middle of the night, and then let's say that there's a snake wandering around in your room, you know, and it's dark, your eyes can really catch hold of that. You can really get that. But there's no camera you know, in a room that is just completely dark lit. You know, right now there is no camera which can have the kind of sensitivity that our rods have. So what we have, you know, here, all our sensors, they are the best. And put your sensors to use, guys, and you know, become somebody. I'm trying to become somebody, and you guys, by watching this video, you're helping me become somebody, and I thank you for that. Okay, have a great week, guys, and I'll talk to you later. Signing off, I am Tamil Selvan Bharati.